Solo Survivor food preparation video.
Hi everybody, Ruckus in the North here, and today I'm going to talk to you about what I'm going to bring for breakfast in the backcountry as a wannabe solo survivor. So today's topic is going to be about making oatmeal for breakfast. I'm going to be bringing 1 minute oats combined with apple and banana, and I'm going to boil this up, add the dehydrated apple and banana into the recipe, and have that for breakfast 2 days out of my stay in the backcountry. So I've got bananas, apples, I've got a apple core and slicer kind of thing. I don't even know what it's called. It's going to be pretty neat to use. I'll show you how I use that. My wife bought it and I criticized her for it, but you know what, it is pretty neat. So I'll show you how that's done. I'm going to dip the apple in lemon juice just to stop it from browning, and I'm going to throw everything into my dehydrator, which is right here. I've got these dehydrator trays all ready to go. I've never dehydrated fruit before, so it's going to be an experiment, I guess. That's part of learning about this whole backcountry experience, is that I'm going to learn how to make my own foods, and I'm going to find out pretty darn quick whether they taste good or not. So let's hope it tastes good this time around and that we all learn something from this experience. So why don't I get started and show you what's involved. The first thing I'm going to do is prepare the solution that I'm going to put the apples in so that they don't turn brown while I'm dehydrating them. I don't even know if this is a necessary step for dehydration, but it makes sense to me, having cooked apples before. So what I did is I threw in a whole bunch of water in here. I don't know if you can see it. It's almost all the way full. I'm only going to be doing 2 apples, so I'm not worried about a huge quantity of water and lemon juice. Now normally, I don't know what the ratio would be. You want quite a bit of lemon juice to water, but not too much. It's not like you would do a 1/4 cup of lemon juice and 3/4 of a cup of water. I don't even think it's that much for a ratio. But I'm definitely going to be generous and just make it nice and cloudy. So, this is the solution I have. The next step is for me to peel and slice the apples, and then I'll throw them in this solution, and then I'll put them on the dehydrator trays. Okay, so the first time didn't work out as well as we had hoped. So what I did is I cut it up and threw it in lemon juice and then put it in the dehydrator. Here's the second apple. I do have to wash it though, which unfortunately I had forgotten to do. So let's try the second one here. So it turns, it looks all pretty, look at it go, and then it starts to peel, and then it demolishes and tears the apple apart. This tree, come on. Oh, this is exciting, look at that. Look at that, it's doing what it's supposed to. See all those funky slices? And then it falls into 1,000 pieces. So now what I'm going to do is back it up. Maybe the apple's too overdone too. It really did really well until that point. The entire core is supposed to be in that middle section here, and the whole apple's supposed to slice apart like you saw. So I'm just going to snap these in half and throw them in the lemon juice here, just like this. Large pieces, large enough for me to want to put in my mouth while I'm eating oatmeal. There's the core here. So, anyways, that's cool though. It worked out really well. It did well enough for me to be happy. And so now, I'm just going to break these up, throw it in lemon juice. I'll cut up the excess pieces from the part of the apple that didn't cut up properly. And then I'll lay it on the dehydrator rack. And I will cut up the bananas and lay those on the dehydrator rack. And then I'll show you where I'm at. Okay, so what I have here is bananas and apples on 2 dehydrator racks, and I noticed they're quite bland. The apples are just apples, the bananas are just banana. I thought it would be great to add some cinnamon sugar, so I don't have cinnamon sugar, therefore I'm going to make some. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 teaspoons of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and it doesn't have to be accurate. I actually don't like cinnamon very much, almost at all actually. I think it tastes gross and it smells gross, and I'm a weird person for that, I am told. But when you add it with sugar and you throw it on some apples or whatever, I'm sure it will taste just great. And if I'm starving to death in the middle of the bush, it will taste that much better. So what I'm doing is I'm just mixing it up a bit, and obviously the cinnamon is overkill, so I didn't need that much cinnamon in my sugar. I can tell by the color. Normally you can buy cinnamon sugar and just sprinkle it on, but this is what I have available right now. So I'm just going to sprinkle that on top of my apples, not my bananas. I've never had cinnamon on banana before. I have a funny feeling it's probably not that good. So this is one day's fruit. This is the next day's fruit. Going on my 1-minute oats. It is not instant, it is 1-minute oats. Which means I'm going to boil this and then throw my stuff in. The difference between instant and 1 minute, we'll find out. Anyway, so I'm going to package this with whatever the serving size is on here and some brown sugar, and that's going to be a meal in the backcountry. I'll tune back in when I'm packaging it. Hi everybody. So it's about 10 and a half hours later. I slept a little longer than expected, so unfortunately it dehydrated longer, but we're going to see what we have here. Oh wow. So that's what we ended up with. Very cool. It's good. Alright, so there's actually still moisture in the banana. I can feel it. So I'm going to take the apples off and let her go for a little bit longer, but obviously the banana needs more time to dehydrate. Definitely does. But everything tastes really good, so that's excellent. Okay, so it's a couple hours later. I'd say the bananas have been on for 13 hours in total. They feel a little bit leathery, still quite flexible. No dampness though really to them. I don't know how much to dehydrate these, so I'm gonna say they're probably good. Yeah, I'll find out if after 2 days they go bad or not. So what I did is I grabbed a couple bags and I threw a date and what is in the bag on the bag. That's very important to label it. You never know if it's going to sit in your fridge or freezer for a period of time, and then you might get confused as to what's actually in it. So I went ahead and threw the apples in it. Like I said, I'm making 2 meals, so I've got them split in half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bananas off the dehydrator here. I'm just going to throw them one tray in this bag and then one tray in the other bag and leave the apples and bananas together. Then I will package up the oats and we will have a breakfast. This one banana, I don't know if you can see, it's a lot more than just leathery. It feels wet, kind of really shiny. I don't think it's fully dry out of everything. And see, it squishes and gushes. So I didn't throw that in the bag because I think this piece wasn't fully dried, but all the rest felt dry. But it does taste really good. Wow. It's like all the flavor has been compacted into that little piece of banana. Wow. That's really cool. And the apples taste really similar as well. All the flavor just crammed into those little slices. Wow. Anyways, I thought I'd tell you to take note of that because you don't want to have that in your bag of dehydrated goods out in the bush for several days unrefrigerated and have it possibly go bad in here. So I'm hoping everything is dry enough. So now what I want to do is I'm just making this recipe up as I go along. I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar to each of these bags, say a tablespoon. And you know, some of you are going to say, oh my god, that's so bad for you. You're probably right. But I like brown sugar on the top of my oatmeal normally, so that's what I'm adding. And we'll see, it might be overkill. I'm gonna find out when I eat it. I'm also gonna write this recipe down. I got a little cookbook I'm starting. So now I've got everything prepared for my dehydrated fruits and my sugar's in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the quick oats and I'm just going to follow the instructions here. And it says put 1/2 of a cup into 1 cup of water. So I figure I'm going to throw in 1 cup, 2 servings. I eat a lot, so I'm going to do that. 1 cup into a bag just like that. I'll date it as well. That's important, like I said. And then I'll package the two together and I'll show you what a fully prepared breakfast looks like. Okay, well, that's going to be everything for this episode. So today we made dehydrated breakfast. You will get a bag of oats in the morning. Throw that in a pot with 1 3/4 cups of water. That's what I wrote on here. And I might actually add a little bit more, closer to 2 cups. Bring it to a boil, throw the oats into that boiling water, boil it for about a minute, and then throw in a bag of this so that it'll heat up and rehydrate a little bit. Mix all of that in with it, turn off the heat, leave it covered for 3 or 4 minutes, and it should be ready to go. Nice nutritional breakfast. So I just want to thank you for joining me on this episode. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them, and I'd be glad to get back to you. And if you haven't subscribed, please remember to subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Wannabe Solo Survivor. Next episode will most likely be another cooking or preparation meal, but we are getting closer to the backyard hike. So thanks for joining me. Until next time, Ruckus in the North here, signing out.